fuel subsidy matter. Dr. Femi Adegbulu joins us now as a public affairs analyst and a lecturer. Thank you for coming on this morning.
My pleasure to be here again. Thanks.
Well, again, if history serves us right, perhaps you could take us down memory lane. They say again and again, the government, that, and I keep saying that's what they say, the plan they have for us, the thoughts of good are not evil, that perhaps we will have a peaceful economy. But from what you've seen, how does it come across to you?
Well, the thoughts of good are not of evil, but this is not to give us an expected end. And the government officials that have been coming here to defend government policies are beginning to sound like repetitive and a kind of repetitive and monotonous shibboleth.
Why? How?
Yeah, because they do not have any new ideas. They've been telling us the same thing we've been hearing over and over again. They don't seem to. Now, you ask the Minister for Planning, what are the alternatives? You see, when a government begins to say that there is no alternative to a particular policy, it means that government is bereft of ideas. Or the government is not even willing to listen to alternatives, which is very bad. It's marks of a government that is not sensitive to the needs of the people. Okay, it's like a dictatorship.
Comment on this, because he also used the word the best of the ideas that they've got on the shelf. Is this the same thing as
the best of the ideas they got on the shelf? Why are they not even thinking of downsizing themselves? Why are they not, first of all, removing subsidies on their pattern of life? It's like nobody is talking about that. We all know the way government is run in this country. We know how many aides the man who just left has, and so many of them like that. We are talking about the budget in the president's office. He could not defend it. Is it not time for the president who says he's feeling with the people, feeling the pain? It's so easy to say here that we all feel the pain. How much of the pain do they feel? They don't buy fuel. I was a point of correction to what the federal honorable minister said earlier on, that Sanusi was accused. No, Sanusi was not accused. Sanusi said it, that he couldn't remember when last he bought fuel. He said it. I watched the program.
Has he been in government all the while?
Well, it depends on which angle he has been leaking from. But what we are talking about here is that these people don't feel what we feel, and that's why it's so easy for them to just rule out any policy without knowing how this thing is pinching the people.
Dr. Adegbulu, you heard him say that it's not like they buy fuel, and in his own private car he buys his fuel. When he's doing his private business, he buys his fuel. But half the time, of course, he'll be doing government business, and as such, government sponsors that particular. But talking about ideas, when he said that it was better for them to remove it all at once than to removing it gradually. Mr. Femi Falana made a point at that particular debate saying that the last administration, or the administration before President Yar'Adua, removed petroleum subsidy 6 times, or increased the price of fuel 6 times in 8 years. And that's something that Nigerians don't seem to have forgiven him for. This time around, it seems, let's just face it once and for all. Take it out, and let's forget that we've taken it out.
Okay, Mark, thank you. What happens to governments? What happens to countries that do not have oil? How are they run? How do they take care of their people? Before Ghana got oil recently, how has Ghana been running? And yet, Ghana, I was there a while ago, just a few weeks back. For the whole weeks I spent there, their light did not blink, and they have good roads.
Did you go to the filling station?
Filling station?
Yes.
No, the people. No, I don't know how they consume their fuel, but they have adjusted to whatever system they had. They are just discovering oil. We have all this oil.
So that's important.
What happened to us?
That's important in the sense that if you want to compare how much Ghana actually pays for fuel and how much you pay for fuel, you know that over the years you have not been paying the true price of petrol. Meanwhile, Ghana has.
Do you know there is another argument that there is even no subsidy at all? Do you know how this government is run? Do you know how much is per barrel? You understand what I'm saying? Government that runs in opacity, where you don't really understand how much the government earns, how much government spends on any particular occasion. So we banded all these figures here and there. He was quarreling with some figures. When government does not come out with any accurate figure that people can go and digest, then you give room for all that thing. So what I'm saying in essence is that government that do not have oil at all, how do they run? How much oil does Britain have? and other countries like that, and we borrow our system from these people, and they run on transparency and integrity. These are the essential ingredients that we don't have. So what is stopping government? For instance, if I were the president today, if I really identify with it, if what I'm saying has not been hypocritical, I will come out and say, look, my budget for this for Aso Rock hitherto has been this, but I'm slashing this in by 50% in order to identify with my people. We must all suffer together. I go back to Ghana again. When Jerry Rawlings was ruling as a leader, I'm not talking about ruler, leading Ghana. So there was a time people were crying, we are hungry, we are hungry. He said, look, we are all hungry together. In fact, he was going on this open roof Land Rover. He stopped by and said, look, ask this woman, with this woman frying akara, how much I owe the woman. This was a leader. The man also was owing. He said, we are all suffering together. Ghana, let us all tighten our belt because we will enjoy it tomorrow. They all did tighten their belt. But these people don't even have belts at all. We are tightening our belt. Our stomachs are already disappearing because we've been tightening. We've been tight. Now, look, the untold hardship, we can't even tell it now. Because this palliative, because we have very short time. Now he talks about bus and all these things. On which roads are these buses going to ply? These the same dilapidated roads? Look. When you talk about all this palliative and all that, I just wonder what is the result debt of government? Where has government been running all this while? Where are the budgets that have been budgeted for roads, for health, and all these things without fuel subsidy?
Let's look at this particular policy. Government over the years has been lambasted. Let's look at what exactly this policy was meant to achieve: deregulation of the downstream sector. Do you support deregulation of the downstream sector?
Of course, I support. You see, there is no sane person who wouldn't support deregulation. But my problem has always been is deregulation the same as subsidy removal. There have been confusion here. Whether deregulation is actually or it actually means subsidy removal.